Now, if we will see the key findings from the Deloitte 2018 Global Human Capital Trend Survey, we'll take it four top key findings. It's from the respecting the power of the individual, where organizations face some challenges as they revamp their approach to workforce management.
Welcome to the OTech Talks podcast, where it's all about working on technologies. You will hear the latest tech information, and your host, Kashif Manzoor, brings together product overviews, how-tos, best practices, tips and tricks, and troubleshooting techniques.
Hi, good morning. Assalamu alaikum. This is Kashif Manzoor with the new podcast. Today is 5th of June 2018, and we are gonna discuss again to human capital management trends, because I just got a chance to read last week the 2018 Global Human Capital Trends report published by Deloitte, and I thought let's focus on the key findings or trends, what they have highlighted. And I think we maybe have to make it 2 or 3 sessions on it, because it's quite long. And in this first session, I will try to just cover highlights the trends or the reports, which we called as Genesis of the Social Enterprise. So we will going to cover 2018 Global Human Capital Trends report published by Deloitte in podcast number 30 with the title Digital HR Mission to Digital Transformation. You can find it on OTech Talks TV. We discussed 2017 Global Human Capital Trends report, where the Deloitte mentioned as rewriting the rules for digital age, and we covered all the primary or the key indicators or trends out of that report from the 2017 report. Now let's focus on 2018 survey or trends report. And Deloitte has named this 2018 trends report the rise of the social enterprise. And this year's global survey is based on 11,000 plus business and HR leaders who participated that, and interviews with executives from some of the leading organizations. So that's what the basis of the interviews and the surveys from 11,000 plus. And that's a quite huge number for the surveys. And even they have mentioned, I put it in the show notes, from the basically the number of participants, which country participated, how many, what are the demographies, and even organization size wise. For example, 49% were 1,000 or fewer employees, and then 27% were less than 10,000 employees, and then 24% were more than 10,000 employees organizations. So that's a good number, quite extensive number for any survey to be run. And in this 2018 survey, they said the fundamental change is underway, and which organizations are no longer assessed based only on traditional metrics such as financial performance or even the quality of their products or services. Rather, organizations today are increasingly judged on the basis of their relationships with their workers, their customers, and their communities, as well as their impacts on society, and transforming them from business enterprises into social enterprises. And I like it very much, if you ask me frankly, because that's the way, even personally, I feel it, that organization need to think about it, or judged not only that what service or products they're offering, rather than how they behave, how they treat their workers, their employees, and even how they work with the customers and as a society. So all these parameters are quite, if you ask me personally I felt it. This is the same. It's like my own feeling or my own hidden intentions which I want from organization. They have put it in the survey. So they have just narrowed down or summarized it, my personal intentions or my personal thinking. Now, let's understand what is social enterprise. And then I went into just Wikipedia. And as per the Wikipedia definition, a social enterprise is an organization that applies commercial strategies to maximize improvements in financial, social, and environmental well-being. This may include maximizing social impact alongside profit for external shareholders. So that's the short definition of social enterprise. And Deloitte put it in a very nice way that a social enterprise is an organization whose mission combines revenue growth and profit making with the need to respect and support its environment and share stakeholder network. So this includes listening to, investing in, and actively managing the trends that are shaping today's world. It is an organization that shoulders its responsibility to be a good citizen, both inside and outside the organization, serving as a role model for its peers and promoting a high degree of collaboration at every level of the organization. Very well defined definition for the social enterprise. So they said many of the factors contributing to the rise of the social enterprise. Deloitte set three top fact forces driving this urgency of the change or driving this, which they're talking about rise of the social enterprise. Now let's go to review or see these. What are the three top points which mentioned by Deloitte? First, the power of the individual is growing with millennials at the forefront, and we have read a lot of articles about the millennials, how they're taking part in the organizations and what percentage of millennials are even in the management positions. So for the first time in mature markets, young people believe that their lives will be worse than their parents, and they're actively questioning the core premises of corporate behavior and the economic and social principles that guide it. Among this group, social capital plays an outside role in where they work and what they buy. And 86% of millennials think that business success should be measured in terms of more than just financial performance. Millennials comprise a majority of the workforce in many countries, and their power will likely grow over time. So that's the power of the individual is growing with millennials at the forefront. So that's the first key point. And the second, businesses are being expected to fill a widening leadership vacuum in society. So overall, across the world, people started trusting business more than government. And in 2018, Edelman Trust Barometer reported that people worldwide place 52% trust in business to do what is right versus 43% in government. So that's, I think, is putting a lot of pressure on companies, and also even creating an opportunity where organization has to engage with the people and show that they are worthy of trust by through our reputation, our willing allies, and influencing or even supplementing traditional public policy mechanisms. Third, a technological change is having unforeseen impacts on society even as it creates massive opportunities to achieve sustainable, inclusive growth. And this I'm also witnessing because being a part of a IT vendor, I can see what are the top technologies we are working and what are the customers' demands from an IT point of view. And even it's not now coming from only the IT departments, or it's coming from the business departments and business users. Now they are more aware about it. So coming back to third point of where advances in artificial intelligence and new communication technologies are fundamentally changing how we do the work and who does it and how it influences society. And for example, I mean, this is a common question being asked a number of business executives that, and even we see it from our experience, that machine learning was not in the in mainstream 3 years ago. Today, it is one of the IT's hottest area and source of tremendous anxiety about potential job losses. So people realizing that rapid technological change, while holding out the promise of valuable opportunities, also creates unforeseen impacts that can undermine social structure. Many stakeholders are alarmed and they expect businesses to channel this force for the broader good. And if we put it into a percentage, 87% of C-level executives say that Industry 4.0, the industrial revolution brought about by the combination of digital and physical technologies, will lead to more equality and stability. And 74% say business will have more influence than governments or other governments to shape this future. Now, if we will see the key findings from the Deloitte 2018 Global Human Capital Trend Survey, we'll take it 4 top key findings. It's from the respecting the power of the individual, where organizations face some challenges as they revamp their approach to workforce management, reward systems, and career models. Here, the survey said only 16% say their organizations have a well-defined strategy to manage contractors, freelancers, and gig workers. And only 8% say their organizations are very effective at creating personalized, flexible reward. At whopping 60% say their organizations are not effective or somewhat effective in empowering people to manage their own career. 60% is a big number. Now, out of our 4 key findings, we'll go to second, the symphonic C-suite. Respondents who indicate their C-suite executives regularly collaborate on long-term independent work are a third more likely, 34%, to expect 10% growth or more in the next year than respondents whose CXOs operate independently. That's an extensive number. Third, filling society's leadership vacuum. A focus on citizenship can yield rich opportunities to build social capital and become a leading voice on society issues. In that, the question was, how do organizations view advancing worker age? 18% as an advantage, 20% as a disadvantage. And out of that, 77% of respondents indicate that social responsibility and citizenships are important. Yet, only 18% of organizations treat citizenship as a top priority in corporate strategy. That's a huge number. And then the 4th key finding from which we got from the basically infographic of social enterprise, leveraging the technology for sustainable growth. New technologies can help lift productivity and performance, but organizations must also pay attention to their impacts on the workforce as a whole. 72% said AI, robots, and automation are important, but only 31% felt their organizations were prepared to address the strategy to implement these technologies. So that's with the growing use of digital communications tools, respondents felt interactions will change. 30% phone conversations and texting, 44% face-to-face meetings will go down. Basically, these 2 phone conversations, collaboration platforms, 70%, instant messaging, 62%, work-based social media, 69%. So these are some key findings from the social enterprise. Now, there's a complete 10 trends of which is called as the human capital trends, and I believe that's quite long trends to cover in the podcast. So what I was thinking to just mention those trends or the reports in my show notes or in a blog on otalks.tv, on otechtalks.tv, so that you can just go and read it in detail. And I can just name it like trend 1, the symphonic C-suite, teams leading teams. Trend 2, the workforce ecosystem managing beyond the enterprise. Trend 3, new rewards, personalized, agile, and holistic. 4, from careers to experiences, new pathways. 5, the longevity dividend, work in an era of 100 years lives. Okay. Trend 6, citizenship and social impact. Society holds the mirror. Trend 7, well-being, a strategy and a responsibility. Trend 8, AI, robotics and automation. Put humans in the loop. The hyper-connected, Trend 9, the hyper-connected workplace. Will productivity run? Trend 10, people data. How far is too far? Thank you so much for listening this podcast. And I also want to share with you another, I think I'm very pleased on that one and happy that this podcast is growing day by day. And in month of May, I think May 2018, we have a record download of podcast, and the number grows to total 12,000, I think 900 plus downloads of this podcast. And I have received number of messages and emails on the feedback. Thank you so much. And just to again reiterate why I'm doing it, it's just personal learning and sharing with each of you. It enforced me to learn, to find out some new topic and even share with you. And it also enforced me to learn from you who are sharing your feedback and your knowledge with me. And even I'm open if you wanted to come on the show to share your knowledge or any article on technology or even in journal business, please feel free to reach out to me. You can reach out to me either whatever the social channels or just drop an email, kashif@otechtalks.tv. It's just a volunteer work which we are doing for society, which I feel it is just a one way of giving back to society or to the environment from where, or to the peers from where I'm learning and I'm growing my career. Once again, thank you so much and have a blessed life.
Thanks for listening to the O Tech Talks podcast, and be part of Tech Talks at otechtalks.tv. It's a turf to share ideas, insights, and innovations.